Here we go. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Nintendo Rewind. My name is Cody Christian, and I'm joined by my co-host, Chris Becker, and we are rewinding and recapping last week for Nintendo. We're going to be talking a lot about the Mario Kart World Direct that just happened, but before we dive in, Christopher, how is it going, my dude?
Oh, you know, it's going great. Fantastic. You know, Marvel. Well, hold on.
Your clothes have changed.
Yeah. I'm just bearing it all, I suppose.
Yeah, showing off a little bit of that chest hair. It's getting a little scantily clad up in here. Oh, man.
Yeah. It's going great. Let's see. How about you? How are you? How are you doing? I have no idea what's happening.
You don't even know what to say anymore. Your face is all just like, whatever. No, I am, there's the eyebrow raises in the chat. It's so good. It's so good. I'm doing good, man. Like, it's, I'm taking a little bit of me time the past couple of days. You ever have those days where, like, you get the SADs and there's like no real good reason to have the SADs, but you got the. Well, don't ask you the question. Do you? What? Why? Why can't I ask you questions about this?
You ask me a question. Go ahead.
Okay. Am I allowed now? Am I permitted?
Yeah. Ask me whatever you want, baby. Yeah.
Whatever I want. Anything.
Nothing's off the table.
Well, listen. Are you still I mean, no. I don't know. I had a case of the SADs for the past couple of days for like no good reason. I was like trying to shake it, and I was like, I can't shake this. So instead, I didn't stream last night. Although we've been like crazy busy with Easter Bunny pictures and a whole bunch of other stuff anyway. So time to stream has been really limited, but instead I decided, you know what, I'm gonna play some Fortnite with my best buddy Chris. So we played some Fortnite last night, and that was a good time, and I felt a little bit better today. So I worked on some stuff. I'm prepping for I've been doing a tabletop game over on my channel called Marvel Multiverse, and it's got a bunch of really, really good friends who've joined me. Not even just friends of the channel, but like friends of me. So, I've had
real people.
Yeah, real life people. What are you? Yeah. Humans, not robots, not AI. But I've had Zed and Team Wildwood, his wife Nerded Art, I Am Tenderly, and Sakura joining me over there, and Retired 11 Bravo playing through, pretending to be superheroes for me on a weekly basis for the past few weeks, and we're coming up on the finale episode of that tomorrow night. So
that's right, because I think we've been talking, and I might come on the show as Batman. I think is what we had.
That'd be totally fine. Let's bring it. We'll figure out a way to get Batman into the Marvel multiverse. No, that'd be crazy. That'd be so crazy. Yeah.
Well, hold on a second. Did you Batman aside? Mm-hmm. And then, but your question was something about depression. You
ever just get the sads for like no reason? What's your tips for trying to get rid of that?
My tips. I
heart you too, Chris.
Yeah, just maybe drink some strawberry milk.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about talking about your feelings. Feelings are there to be felt. I have no idea. I'm terrible with it because I usually have it. I have like generalized anxiety and just generic depression most of the time. But some days are better than others, and usually it takes me a while. Like my brain is really nice to me when I'm sleeping. And I have like really nice dreams, and then I wake up, and that's when the nightmare begins. So then
that is so dark. That is so dark.
Well, other than that, yeah, it's going pretty well. Biopsy tomorrow. I was thinking about asking him about the circumcision.
just the people that are like checking out your bladder, like, hey, can I get a second opinion?
They have to go through the urethra to get there, so they're already going to be looking, So I figured, what a great time to ask.
Hey, does it look right to you?
Yeah, what would you call this?
On a scale of 1 to 10, how good is my circumcision?
Yeah.
Hey, since you're there, can I get a 2-for-1 deal while I'm here?
Yeah, quick question.
Kiatic in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man! By the way, Kiatic, we were talking about your username right beforehand, and Chris said he goes I think I called her chaotic right before during my stream earlier today, and I'm like, they're both right. both pronunciations are correct. Oh man, but no, it's been good. She says I am chaos. It's so good.
Oh gosh.
Oh man, but no, it's I kind of feel you. I'm not trying to be a Deborah Downer, but it's one of those things where you got to take care of yourself, and it's important to do so. And so
get it while it's hot. That's what I got on my dating.
Get it while it's hot. but take care of yourself, and that's the important piece. So there's a couple of things. There's a couple of things we don't need to be sad about. The first thing is
what's that?
How kind and how nice our members are over at NintendoRewind.com. We want to make sure we thank those generous supporters from over there. And if you'd like to directly support our content, Every dollar spent on memberships and merch helps us continue to produce the show. There's even a tier that only costs $1 a month, and with it, you still get a shout out right here live. Whether it's over on YouTube or here on Twitch, you get to hear it, see it, feel it. That being said, I want to thank our members Calamity Nolan, Sierra, Christian, and Shiny Bird for all of their gracious support. So that support is actually kind of easing a little bit of the financial load for us to be able to afford some stuff to do some reviews in the upcoming months. So again, thank you guys so much for easing the load, Mr. Frodo's. But all of that aside, Chris, you have anything else you want to talk about? You want to share before we jump into the actual show, or are you good?
No, I think. Listen, I got some stuff I want to share with you after the show, but we can go on with the main topic.
all right. We got a lot to get through, and we've got some Fortnite to go to because the TMNT Turtle Van is available. So for those of you guys that play Fortnite, you can drive around in the Shell Razor and rep your favorite Ninja Turtle villain, as long as your favorite Ninja Turtle villain is one of three people: Bebop, Rocksteady, or Krang. But we're going to jump into this main topic here with a whole lot to talk about, Mario Kart World. So we'll catch you right after this. Oh man, we put off for like right around a week and a half talking about Mario Kart World, mainly because we knew that there was a direct that was going to be coming up, and the direct came and it aired last week on Thursday. I think it was Thursday, might have been Wednesday. It was Thursday, wasn't it? Chris, correct me, am I wrong?
Thursday.
Okay, so it was Thursday, and it was very interesting. But at the same time, like, it was kind of, I don't know, like, it was a little bit more on the like side of, I don't know if they really shared enough to say that it was worthwhile talking about, because a lot of the information that was there felt like it had already kind of hit during the tree houses and during the actual direct too. So like, how did you know, obviously we've got a little bit before we get to the main meat and potatoes of this direct, but how did you feel about the direct after it aired?
I didn't feel any different than before I watched it. I feel like it was almost like this could have been an email direct. I guess it's because I watched the dang Tootin' Treehouse, right? So I watched that, and then I was like, oh, okay. Well, they pretty much just showed that, plus they let everyone play it and then talk about it, and so basically all the stuff that we saw was basically just stuff that was them confirming what we knew from people playing it and what they already told us. What about you?
I'm kind of in that same boat. I think you summed it up pretty well there with this direct could have been an email. More than anything, I think that's probably the best way to try to say that what that direct actually was. I came away mixed because there is quite a bit of information. I went, took down some notes, said, okay, this is everything new that we didn't know about from the treehouse or from the actual direct itself. And there's a lot that's there, but there's not a lot that is exclusively new in the same sense. There's just not enough to say, hey, we needed another 16 minutes and 51 seconds of direct, as far as that goes. So I don't know. Like there is, came away feeling mixed. I came away feeling pretty mixed on the whole situation, as far as that goes. Now they did share quite a lot. What they shared was fairly interesting. Characters having different stats. That's cool. It's a change up from the actual from the actual formula with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, because all of those characters, like, it definitely felt like you could pretty much pick any character and it didn't matter what character you played as, you'd still have a good time. There was optimal loadouts in terms where you get your stats in the carts, in the wheels, and the gliders. That was what defined your actual stats, not the characters themselves. Although characters kept you from being pushed around on the road, you know?
Right. Yeah. Well, they had the different weight classes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so those played a little part of it, and that's why everyone liked King Boo with the smallest wheels, and then, I forget what glider it was. But yeah, now it's just the cart and then the person you pick. So, we'll see what happens.
Yep. I'm kind of 100% with you. It's just, I think I don't necessarily like that all the characters have different stats, because really what that turns into is a meta game when you're playing with people online, unless you have people that are just like in it for a friendly match. They're just like, yeah, whatever.
Like you're just going to see a bunch of dolphins riding around because they have the best stats.
Right.
I mean, that's, kind of what happens now.
Right. And but like with Kart 8, it was very much like, hey, these are the things that are happening. Like you select your carts, and that changes your overall stats, but you get a bunch of different characters that way, which I think was nice. I think as far as what we'll see outside of that, when we get into the actual thank you, Kiatic. I will have to check it. We will get that updated after the show 100%. I need to figure out a way to have those fourth wall memberships actually show up and come through. But I think where you're going to see a lot of variety with your characters is going to be through the costumes more than anything at this point, knowing that all of the characters provide different stats, and it's going to adjust whether or not you see this racer or not. They also did state and show off, and I don't know how big of a fan of the UI that you are with this, but the costumes are all considered separate characters.
I know. I thought you would click on, let's say, Mario, and then be able to select any of his costumes. Instead, it's like page after page of different characters, and they're all different costumes. Yeah, that's wild.
It's insane. That's too much scrolling.
Yeah. I wonder if that means that they're not just cosmetic and they actually control differently.
See, that was a theory that I hadn't really thought about. What I'm hoping is that that's just a preview build, because they didn't want to show off every character, which we'll get to kind of like our, what we think is still hiding within the game later on down the show. I don't want to burn through too much topic here, but, I think what will likely happen, because on that character selection screen, there is a sword icon that you can, I'm going to assume it didn't do anything yet on the hands-on at the Nintendo Switch 2 experience, and then even more so on what they showed on the Treehouse. Like, it doesn't do anything yet. My assumption is that it will either be one of two things. The first thing is you select that to have like a default favorite costume per character on that character, so that way you don't continue scrolling. Or second off, you have just favorite loadouts, period. Like, here's all 50 or 60, however many characters they have in the game, as their like main loadout, and you can have your favorites. I don't know if that's true. Obviously, that's just me like guessing there, but that's kind of what I think is going to happen. But I think it's a huge mistake in a lot of ways, having every character costume separated, because they also only show 6 characters per page. If there's 50 racers, that is 12 pages. Or if there's 50 racers, that is around 8 pages already, right? And then you couple in all the different costumes that are regional costumes, because there's, Farmer Mario, Biker Mario, Aviator Mario, Japanese Mario,
Italian Mario.
yeah, French Mario. Like, you've got all of these costumes that are then going to expand it. It's going to get crazy trying to find just like whatever one character that you're wanting to play as. And that can be extremely frustrating. Receptionist Mario. That's right. We need Receptionist Mario. But that's just gonna be way too many characters to have to sort through, and I'm not like necessarily the biggest fan of that.
I would totally be Receptionist Mario.
100%.
Mario.
Yes, give me Oppenheimer Mario. Dropping an A-bomb on Bowser's Castle.
As Peach. Yeah.
But I don't know. I think that's gonna be a UI nightmare.
Yeah, because when they have the Shy Guys and Yoshi, they have the different you would in 8 Deluxe you select the character and then it opens up the grid with like the 9. I thought that's what they were gonna do, but then it also seems like the penguin, the cow, they are not getting costumes, just Mario and his friends.
Yep, which is kind of crazy at the same time. I don't know why they don't give the cow a costume, or the Pokey, or the Goomba, or the Waddle. I keep calling them Waddle Dees. That's not what they're called. The Quack Attacks. That's what they're called. The Piantas.
Also, the cow should have been called Moo Moo.
Yeah, why not?
The name should have been Moo Moo.
They're not cows. They're Moo Moos. It's Moo Moo Meadows. Farm. Moo Moo Farm. Why isn't that Moo Moo Luigi? It's what we've got on the screen right there. But I don't know. Like, I think that there's a lot that they could have done with the costumes that could have been really interesting still yet, with even like the NPCs that are there. Then we get into carts having different paint jobs, and it's only going to be select carts, so it's kind of similar to what we already have in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, where the paint jobs will differ based on the character that you're playing as on certain cars. There are cars in 8 Deluxe that don't, like the Mercedes cars, they don't change color based on what character you have. The airship doesn't change color based on what character you have. But the base cart does change colors based on what character you have. And you see a lot of that too within the Direct itself, as far as that goes. How much for customization are you when it comes to this specific game in general? Is it something that like you really wish that you had a lot more customization on, or are you happy with, just picking a cart and it just being the loadout? Because they got rid of tires and gliders too. Like, it's just like, well, here's your cart, here's your character, but you can customize your costume.
Yeah, no, I like being able to choose the different things. Here's the thing that I don't usually like. I like it when you can change the way it looks, but it doesn't change. I would like, what is it called? Is it geomodding? No, maybe not.
I'm not sure what you're referencing.
No, definitely not geomodding. That is something else. I like it in Monster Hunter when I can have really great gear, but cosmetically it looks like something. It looks like earlier gear that just looks cooler.
Okay. I don't know what that's called, but I know what you're talking about. I'm picking up what you're putting down, Christopher.
Yeah, so I want to be able to just have it to look like this, but have the stats of that.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I'll be curious to see if each character is there, if they will let us get like, if we can like pick what we want as, like let us pin at least the first page of all the characters that we like the most.
Mm-hmm.
And so that then at least they're on the main front page, and then everyone else we just kind of ramshack them through in the back.
Right. The customization
yeah.
on that would be really, really good. It would be really good. And honestly, like I would be really down if that's the decision that they decided to make.
If I can like pick where they go,
Mhm.
as opposed to, nope, this whole page is just going to be all Luigi's.
Right.
Once you get them all.
Right. They did go into the cups. We already knew about the first 4, which was Mushroom, Fireflower, Star, and Shell. The Mushroom Cup features Mario Bros. Circuit, Crown City, Whistle Stop Summit, DK Spaceport, which I think it's interesting that it's Mario Bros. Circuit and not Mario Circuit and Luigi Circuit, because they've always had like separate circuits. It's cool to see them getting like a Mario Bros. Circuit in there.
Yeah.
Fireflower got Desert Hills, Shy Guy Bazaar, Wario Stadium, and Airship Fortress. If the Airship Fortress is as cool as I think it's going to be, it will likely be one of my favorites because I really like Cloud Top Cruise for a lot of the same reasons. Very cinematic. The Star Cup got DK Pass, Starview Peak, Sky High Sunday, which is a returning course from the DLC courses in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and Wario Shipyard, which looks super sick. The Shell Cup has Koopa Troopa Beach, which I think is another returning course from Days of Old, Faraway Oasis, Crown City, and Peach Stadium. The thing that was new was the look at the Banana Cup, which I didn't know that they were going to show anything else new in terms of the courses. But we got the confirmation on Peach Beach, Salty Salty Speedway, Dino Dino Jungle, or Dino Dino, or Dino Dino. I'm really not sure which way it's supposed to be pronounced. I didn't pay close enough attention to that. And then the Great Question Block Ruins. And those are the 4 new courses they showed during the Direct. But there are 2 other cups that still have yet to have anything revealed on them, and that's the Tanuki Leaf Cup and the Lightning Cup. What do you expect to see, Chris? Is there anything in particular that you think will make more returns, or do you think this is going to be more all original courses?
Well, it would be nice if they had original courses, but I would also take it would be fun if they had some courses that were in Mario 8 Deluxe with like that you had like those wheels where they just turned and you were like anti-grav on there, and they turned them into like grinding sections. But
so there are a few other cups that have been confirmed outside with not in the Direct and not in the Treehouse and not in but it's at the Nintendo Switch 2 hands-on experiences.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Cheap Cheap Falls, Dandelion Depths, and Boo Cinema are in the Tanuki Leaf Cup, with the 4th course being unlisted. And then Lightning Cup has Moo Moo Meadows and Choco Mountain. And then there are 2 question marks on Lightning Cup as well.
Okay, yeah. So all I know is I like the dinosaurs. I really like the dinosaurs, and if they're going to give us more of that, I would like that.
I'd be totally down for some more dinosaurs. That would be really cool.
Yeah, I agree.
But so there's actually quite a few returning courses that I didn't realize. Desert Hills is from Mario Kart DS. The Wario Stadium that's in here is Mario Kart 64. Wario Shipyard is from Mario Kart 7. Koopa Troopa Beach is from Super Mario Kart. Peach Beach is from Double Dash. And Moo Moo Meadows is the Mario Kart Wii one. That one's kind of a big fan favorite. Everybody loves that one. It's kind of crazy how much everybody loves that specific course. That is an aggressive greeting. Welcome in, Nolan. I'm sorry. But there's quite a bit of interesting stuff there, but Moo Moo Meadows is very good. I think that's your favorite course as well, isn't it, Chris?
Yeah. Well, and Excite Bike.
Mm-hmm.
I like, and Baby Park. Those top 3.
Do you think we'll see the return of some of those like more broad Nintendo courses hit, or do you think it'll be something significantly different? Think it'll be more just like this is Mario Kart courses, not Nintendo Kart courses.
Yeah, I mean, they're kind of getting to it where they want Mario Kart to be its own thing. It almost seems like
it does feel that way
with Mario Kart World. Like, this is the world of Mario Kart. It's not the world of Nintendo. It's the world of Mario Kart. And so they might hint at some outside forces with the other stuff. I mean, maybe it'll be like, Forza Horizon 5 had DLC where it was like Hot Wheels DLC and it was all above. Maybe there will be like some some clouds that are there and you see a vine and can drive up it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get up there and it's a bunch of Nintendo courses and it's like some sort of DLC.
I mean,
they'll do something like that.
Very down for that. That'd be really cool. That would be really cool. We do also know that in order to unlock Rainbow Road, which will likely be the final course in Lightning Cup, you have to finish off all of the Grand Prix Cups. I have to assume you have to place third or better. I could be wrong on that. There's a part of me that's like, it's probably got to be first, right?
Well, no, because you need to get third or better, or else it makes you replay it. At least in the old games.
Yep.
So as long as you get third and everything, then Rainbow Road will unlock. Maybe it'll even be a thing where you just play them. And then Rainbow Road unlocks.
That was actually kind of my theory behind Rainbow Road. We have not yet seen it, right? Or how it functions.
Yeah.
But they've told us how to unlock it. So that's been confirmed, is you have to beat all the Grand Prix Cups to unlock Rainbow Road. Part of me wonders if it's actually going to be included in any of the baseline cups to begin with, or if it's going to be its own separate thing. Like it's a challenge course. Because with this being so much like not even so much like, with this being so focused on being an open world experience, it would almost lend itself to being like, this is Rainbow Road. You're going to go from point A to point B and you're going to race. And it's kind of the culmination of everything that you've done leading up to that, and go all the way across on Rainbow Road, kind of like an interstate highway of sorts, to get across from one side of the map to the other side. And it being its own standalone experience to roll credits.
Is it going to be, do you think it will be, will it be the one course, like one new course, or will it be like a series of, because it showed like a thing shooting up, almost like that's where it's going to take you.
I think it will be its own cup.
You think it will
4 races on a Rainbow Road, its own cup, going all the way across the map.
All new Rainbow Road? It won't be.
No, but I think there will be one new Rainbow Road and then 3 returning ones. Mario Kart 64, freaking Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and then maybe the 3DS's.
With the thwomps?
That's the Super Nintendo one. Is the one with the thwomps.
The one where it's like the Rainbow Road is like rippling, and they're like thwomping down at the very end of the course.
Yeah, it's Super Nintendo. Because it's all flat. Otherwise, and you got the ramps with the gaps in it, and it's pixelated on the sides. It's Super Nintendo one. That's what I legitimately think is it will be, because there's 7 cups that they've revealed. There's Mushroom, Fire Flower, Star, Shell, Banana, Tanuki Leaf, and Lightning Cup. They don't typically do 7. It's never an odd number. Like, it would be a wild card if they did decide to do an odd number of cups. I think the 8th cup, and what you have to do to unlock it is beating the other cups, unlocks Rainbow Road the cup, the Rainbow Road Cup, or whatever they want to call it, the Star Cup.
And they did say on the cups you ride from the one cup to the next, so
Mhm.
you're the whole time riding above the map.
Yep. Which that's my own personal theory. I haven't seen anybody else talk about that, so it's breaking news if it's true. And just everybody remember it. Just like whenever I brought up, just like when I brought up the microphone, the 8th cup is the friends we made along the way. Says Nolan.
Nolan gets it.
He does. He does. Next, well, before we move on, do you agree or disagree with me on that thought? Because you can be a part of the breaking news right along with me.
Yeah, well.
Galaxy Cup. That's way better keyword. Yes. The Galaxy Cup would be an interesting name for it. It's such a good name for it.
Hear me out, Rainbow Cup.
Yeah, Rainbow Cup makes sense. But it's clearly gonna be in space, or at least above the Earth. We need to go to the Moon Cup. I want Cheese World back, or Cheese Land back. That course is awesome.
Cheese World is the moon. Yeah.
Let's just put it on the moon. Let's just put it there. But no, like that's where I'm at. Agree or disagree?
I agree.
There we go. You heard it here first, right here on Nintendo Rewind. We're calling it. It's going to be its own cup, and it's going to be 4 Rainbow Roads. And then I've named the 4 that I think it would be. I think it'll be 1 new one and then 3 returning ones.
I think it will be 4 new ones.
4 brand spanking new Rainbow Roads.
Yeah. What else are they doing?
I mean, they're clearly cranking out Rainbow Roads.
Yeah.
No, hold on. Before we get too deep into it, listen. All right, so here's the deal. Those people also worked on all the DLC for the booster course passes. They were busy.
And they also made Mario Kart 9.
Mario Kart 9?
Yeah, Mario Kart Tour.
Oh, that one, I don't count that one as 9. Get it out of here. It's non-canonical.
Well, they made it.
I'm the Mario Canon guy. I can call it how I see it, and that one's non-canonical. Rosalina's Observatory would be cool.
Yeah. But no, your list is already flawed as it is. Because where's Mario typing? You know?
It's non-canonical, but I'm playing it eventually. It's been unlocked. I have to play it at some point within the near future. So big shout outs to Kiatic for all the support during Mario Mania. Holy crap. The next thing that is on this list is we are going to be seeing some unlockable carts be able to hit too. A few of those they showed off Rob the robot as an unlockable cart. What else did they have?
Motorcycle, right?
I think they had motorcycles.
I think Rob was a motorcycle.
Oh yeah. He was a motorcycle. Yeah.
Right, where he was in Mario Kart DS, which he was a hidden character, and then I was like, I was hoping they would bring him back. I mean, maybe that's where Diddy is. You know, maybe he's a hidden character.
There's a lot of people theorizing that the Koopalings are the hidden characters.
Or Diddy's gonna come when Bonanza drops. Hype up Bonanza with Diddy Kong. But he's not in Bonanza. Well, we haven't seen him in Bonanza, I should say. So, did you see people talked about the scene where the penguin flies off the side? And they said they did it on purpose because everyone threw the penguin off the side. Oh my God,
that's so amazing.
Of the ice.
That's so amazing if true. I really want that to be true. That'd be so freaking hilarious. It is DS all over again, though. It really is DS all over again. I'm trying to find the list of carts, but I can't find my list of carts. I've got the list of characters here. All the returning ones. The new ones on here: Goomba, Cow, Pianta, Spike, Pokey, Rocky Wrench, Penguin, as you just mentioned, Dolphin, Snowman, Cataquack, the Peepo, which is kind of like that toothy ghost that they have, the Parabitty Bud, the Sidestepper, which is the crab from the Mario arcade games, Fishbone, Swoop, which are the bats from Wario Mines, is where you probably, if you're just a Mario Kart fan, where you'll remember those from. Sting bees, piranha plant, Cheep Cheep, coin coffer, and the conch door, which are like the big ostrich-like characters with the spiky shells on their back. So
Right.
a lot of new characters, a lot of returning ones too. I mean, I didn't realize Hammer Bro, Charge and Chuck, and Nabbit were playable characters previously, but I guess it's because they're counting Mario Kart Tour. Because I do know that those were playable in Mario Kart Tour, as well as Monty Mole, and I think Lakitu, right?
I think so, yeah.
But I can't find the list of unlockable carts.
Yeah, I can't find it either.
I saw them, and now I don't remember which ones they were, which ones it was, which is kind of frustrating.
But yeah, I can only find the photo of Rob, and it's called Family Computer Robot, is what it says on the side.
Yep.
Yeah. Geez Louise, I don't know what they'll end up doing with it. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, do you think we'll have a lot of unlockables, or will the costumes mainly be what we unlock?
I think it's mostly the costumes, personally. I don't know. I really don't know if characters are going to be unlockables, to be completely honest. I know the carts will be. It'll likely be tied to money, just like Mario Kart 8 is, where you get so many coins, you unlock a new cart, or you unlock a new part for your carts. I think that the characters, though, like, it'll likely be limited to the Koopalings more than anything, because we haven't seen a single Koopaling back, and there's 7 kingdoms or 7 Grand Prix, right? So that's always the case. There's 7 Koopa kids that you take down in each of these areas, and it would be very on brand because, you know, Super Mario World was also a very similar experience and similar in name. You're taking down the Koopa kids. Granted, Super Mario Bros. 3, but they can't rightly call this Mario Kart 3. We already had that. So you think it's time to let the Koopalings go? Calamity Nolan's throwing out the hot takes out in the chat. I don't know if I agree with that.
I feel like Nintendo's ready to let them go because they're not in Odyssey, right?
No, they're not. You had the Brutals instead of the.
And they were terrible too.
Maybe they should bring them back. Let's play as them. Those should be DLC characters.
Please not. I don't want to see them running around.
I like Lemmy Koopa's my boy. He's my favorite Koopa kid. And even beyond that, like, if I have the opportunity to play as him in a game, most of the time I do it unless it's Smash Bros. Bring back Madame Brutal and no one else. Oh my gosh. Also on the list here of things to talk about, Charge Jump is the new movement tech that they talked about with it. Charge Jump allows you to be able to jump onto walls and jump onto grind rails as well. And what's crazy about it, everybody's kind of talked about this with their hands-on events, but you can do that at any time, and it gives you kind of a little boost. It's almost kind of the return of snaking in a lot of ways, for those who are familiar with like Mario Kart speedrunning. But I like the fact that you can use it to jump onto walls. Look at that tech on jumping on Sky High Sunday right onto the inner wall, and then like really using it to get around. But and then they also revealed the rewind feature as well, but that being free roam and solo mode exclusive, like you can't use this online. But the race continues on without you. It's very Forza in some ways, but first, before we get too deep into the rewind feature, how do you feel about the Charge Jump? Is it something that you're excited about, or do you feel like you're going to be more frustrated with it?
I feel like as long as it's something that is easy enough to figure out and use and like doesn't get in the way of playing, I'm sure it'll just take a few, probably like 2 or 3 races to get situated with it, and then from there be able to handle it just fine. Yeah, I don't mind it. What about you?
Oh,
What
dude,
do you
I'm
think of?
so stoked for the charge jump. I really like when games give me options to kind of move around. One of the things that I hoped for once I saw that you could like jump on the walls and do all these like flips from wall to wall and do these charge jumps, I really wanted a stunt mode. Like I really wanted a stunt mode thrown into the game. They haven't said that's happening, but it would be so cool to get like, you hit, which we'll get there too a little bit later, free roam mission modes, right? So maybe you've got a mission where you need to do like, you need to climb to a certain height to go through a hoop, and you essentially got to be able to wall jump back and forth would be really cool.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
I want stunt mode. I want it.
Okay, I can see that. If they give us stunt mode, I don't know why, but you said stunt mode, and it just um made me think of. Well, now hold on a second. Uh, it just.
Oh man, it's dress up Chris night here on the podcast. It's pretty good.
Yeah. It made me think of TNC Surf Design, where you're just doing stunts. Bring that back.
TNC Surf Design, man.
Yeah, because you were doing stunts on your skateboard. Well, I think in that game actually you would go back and forth. Well, TNC Surf Design had like snow or skateboarding, and then it also had surfing. But then the skateboarding, while you were doing it, I think you were trying to impress a woman like that was looking at you through a window.
That tracks.
I think that was the point of it. Yeah, I remember that, and I don't know why, but when you said bring on stunts, that's what I thought of.
No, I'm 100% with you. I'm 100% with you. That game reminds me a lot of Crash and the Gang too. I don't know if you remember that. Crash and the Gang, which was, it always had that like River City Rampage kind of pixel art style to it.
Right.
But it was like world class track meet, but with attitude. Like, I really liked Crash and the Gang. And TNC Surf Design also is in that same family of games in my mind.
Right, yeah, I can see that. I can definitely see that.
N64 Aero Racers. Let's get back to San Francisco Rush. I like Cruisin' USA. Like, we could do something like that, and it'd be kind of like that too. Give me Burnout. Let me destroy other people's cars. That should be the next gimmick.
Yeah. Or, Mickey's Speedway USA. You know what I mean?
Yes, 100%. Yes. I don't know. Like, there's a lot of really, really cool stuff that is there. Wave Race 64 also. This is basically, and let me know if this is a hot take, but this is Diddy Kong Racing without the actual story mode in my mind. And I really wish it was more like Diddy Kong Racing giving me an actual story mode. And maybe we will get that. Maybe I'm jumping the gun a little bit early. Who knows? But it looks so cool from that perspective. Like, it looks like Diddy Kong. And I will say, having played Diddy Kong Racing somewhat recently, all the way through 100% completion in co-op mode, I will say, I'm putting my line in the sand, Mario Kart 64 is a better arcade racer. Diddy Kong is a better story mode game, by far. Because there's not a story mode in Mario Kart. But if there was, it would be the better game.
Well, as someone who played it on the N64, played Mario Kart on the N64, and then NSO, watched you play Diddy Kong Racing, I can honestly say they're both terrible. Yeah.
God. Okay, well, there's the hot take. Man, that is frustrating. Holy cow. Here's the thing. I really want it to be something with some meat on the bones, right? And I hope that free roam isn't just this gigantic empty space, and I don't think it will be. We're kind of getting close to that point in the direct talking about it, but there are a couple of things here. I'm going to run through these pretty quick up until we get to the free roam, because there's a lot of stuff that's not really all that crazy. Time trials is back in. That's kind of a big duh. Like, we knew that was coming. We also got versus mode, again, a big duh. The big difference here is course selection in versus mode has an open option, which allows you to make your own routes and select your own courses to travel between, which we can select our own courses in versus mode, yes, but we don't have the ability to necessarily make a Grand Prix, right? And so that's kind of cool. Coin runners and balloon battle modes are confirmed. I don't know if we'll see any of the others. I was a big fan of the cops and robbers style battle mode that they did. The courses they showed off, they kind of look like the original, the way that the battle mode was originally in Mario Kart 8, and people really didn't like that because you were just racing regular courses in that. But I did see the Big Donut course from Mario Kart 64 as a course in the battle mode, so right, that got me excited. And then here's where we get into the really interesting stuff. So free roam gets a mission mode, right? So there are 3 things you can do during free roam that makes it not just a, going around, roaming around, doing nothing in it. There are P-switches that start missions that have you either collect coins or go through hoops. There are hidden peach coins around the map as well. And I'm not really sure what they do. Everyone I've seen collect them, it just shows an icon of a different character down below, and I have to assume that it has something to do with character costumes or maybe character unlocks. Who knows? And then there are hidden panels that look like question blocks. I don't know what that's about either, because they really didn't show much of that during the actual direct, which I mean is fine. That's totally fine. But those are the 3 big things that we're getting in free roam mode. And again, I really want stunts to make an appearance. It'd be really cool. Let me jump from wall to wall. There's one of the P-switches we were talking about. Collect blue coins on the slackline course, which is kind of a stunt mode in some ways because you're jumping from rail to rail, but still not quite exactly what I'm looking for. But Chris, how do you feel about the free roam and having like actual missions to do out there in the wild?
Yeah, I like how they're giving us stuff to do and look for while we're out here. It's kind of like other open world driving games where they will have billboards that they have you flying through, and Nintendo's like, well, we don't want you doing that, but we will give you different stuff that you can get. And then they would have the one thing that they have that I like is leaderboards for pretty much everything in like Forza Horizon, where they got like whoever has the best speed on your friends list for a certain street, they'll tell you, and then you can go from there. And then so if they can do stuff like that for this with
give it
these
some
like
life.
key switches and stuff, be like, oh, this friend on your friends list has the best time, and do stuff like that.
Dude, I'd be so down for that. Give me a reason to keep going back to free roam after I've done everything. Like, give me a reason to compete. Give me a reason to play. That you are 100% on the right path with that. And that's ultimately what I want out of this. I think would be really, really cool.
Historically, Nintendo doesn't care about that.
No, they are an anti-achievement company, and I understand. I almost sympathize. I don't necessarily need achievements, but I want a reason to keep going. So, I mean, Nintendo World Championships NES Edition kind of proves that theory wrong, that they don't care about the competition side of it.
No, that proves my point, because
they've continued to give us weekly challenges to compete in. Not that anyone's doing it.
More people would be doing it if you could see your friends' scores and compete against them.
Fair.
Because that's what people would like to compete against, is seeing their score against their compared to their friends on
I don't care about the worldwide.
And Nintendo's like, well, this is just everybody.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to compete with your friends, get close to each other on this leaderboard.
Well, here's what we'll do. Maybe we'll put up a leaderboard for our own on the Discord if people aren't over there in it.
Yeah.
They can just go submit times. We'll create some threads. Why is that not popping? Do I not have that command available? Apparently not.
I have no idea.
We'll just do that.
Maybe.
There we go. And the Discord's that last link there, if you're watching on Twitch. So you can click that and go join the Discord, and we'll start some. I'll start a thread for Nintendo Rewind leaderboards on Mario Kart soon. But no, like that's you're spot on. You're not wrong. I do take it back a little bit. Thank you, Nolan, for being here. We're not going anywhere yet, though. The show's not over. Where are you running off to? You have a good one. But photo mode got added as well. So if you want to see what you can do with that, it's kind of neat. We kind of showed that off just a second ago, just a little bit of it. Here in the direct, they showed the way photo mode works, where you can zoom, you can kind of tilt your camera, you can change your expressions, your pose, facing the camera as well. I like that.
Another free roam feature.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
And I think it's cool that we can all kind of gather around and take a picture together. I liked doing that in Animal Crossing, and that'll be cool to see here playing with other people as well.
I didn't see a thing that said like hide, like the hide stuff. So I don't know if you just shoot
like
it
hide
and
your
it
character
takes
so that
it
way you
with-
can do a cinematic shot.
No, it hides the menu of what buttons to push.
Oh, it'll likely
So
likely
it could just
still
take it without
screenshot
them on there.
Yeah, it'll screenshot and automatically take out all the UI. But I would assume that they have a hide UI button anyway. That's kind of
Right. Yeah.
pretty standard going across Nintendo games anymore.
But yeah,
Main menu.
a lot of stuff with the free roam, like I keep talking about Forza Horizon, but that is a game that does a lot of the things that Nintendo's doing with this. So they have rewind in Forza Horizon, and it does pause all the other cars.
Mm-hmm.
However, it does not. You can use it in online play, but in online play is where it only rewinds you.
Right.
And then nobody else.
Right.
And then in single player, it rewinds everybody. But with this, you can only do it in
Single player, free roam.
Single player, yeah.
Which is it free roam with multiplayer? Because you can free roam with your friends.
What do you mean?
You can free roam with your friends.
Yeah. What about it?
So would you be? Do you think that it's not exclusive to offline gameplay? Like you can do that while you're online playing with friends. You can rewind as well.
Oh, you might be able to, yeah.
I hadn't thought about that until you just said it, and I was like, wait a second. There's something not lining up.
You can
here.
in the other one, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm almost wondering
that
if
would
you can
make
do
sense that it just would always do that. Yeah. Plus, yeah, Nintendo doesn't seem to mind the what is it? The achievements, as long as it's just a game-to-game basis.
Yeah, if it's like built into the actual game.
Yeah. Right.
They don't want to commit to having, because there is a slew of other things that can complicate that, and I think they want to be approachable, where people who don't want to do an achievement system, if they want to release their game on Switch and not worry about an achievement system, they don't have to submit it, because there's a couple of things that it does create extra work for Nintendo. First off, they have to go through and see all the achievements. Second off, they have to make sure that all the achievements align with their community standards guidelines. Third off, they'd have to upload them and maintain a server that processes once you do a certain thing in a game. So, like, I understand why Nintendo's hesitant to do it, and it's not something I'm clamoring for either. Like, I don't don't have to have the achievements to enjoy the game. Just let me play the game, and then I don't feel like I didn't do everything I could. You know, like I don't leave there going, well, I didn't get that achievement. Guess I got to keep playing. I kind of enjoy the fact that I can just play it, roll credits, and then just be done with the game sometimes. So,
right, yeah. And then not only that, but then, I believe it was ARMS, where when you would ARMS, and then also the NES Championship game, where you would get certain achievements in game, and then you could display that achievement with a symbol or like a pin basically on your profile, so people online would see it and they'd be like, oh, they only have that because they did this. You know,
Nintendo World Championships has that.
That's what, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear the title.
Oh, yeah. ARMS, and then the NES Championship did it. Yeah, and
I heard ARMS, but I didn't hear the NES.
And
edition.
then a couple other games. I mean, like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, they did it where if you
gold tires,
you could
gold
get
kite.
the gold tires and everything else. Yeah, and then Splatoon, if you beat the Splatoon 2, if you beat the DLC, you got.
They did have the badges.
Octolinks.
They had the badges too on Splatoon 3 for your name tags. So if you did specific things, you could get little badges to put on your nameplate whenever you go online.
Yep.
They may do that here. I would be totally down for that. That would be fine. Like give me an achievement for doing something cool, and decorate my name tag or whatever for what I'm going in with.
Or like your quote unquote license plate or something.
Oh, that'd be cool. That's cool. That's such a good idea. Chris, like, listen, they should hire you for that. That's such a good idea.
You give me a call.
Rewind feature. I forgot to tell the people. We're finally getting recognized. We're getting added to Mario Kart 8. Our podcast is with the Nintendo Rewind feature. No. On the main menu, we've got single player, multiplayer, online play, and wireless play. For the online multiplayer, it does look like the point system is still in effect. So if you are playing online, you'll be able to rank up, rank down, depending on how well you do during online multiplayer sessions. There's also a 1-up fuel button, which... correct me if I'm wrong. I think I'm right on this. The 1-up fuel button was revealed in the treehouse. Not the button itself, my apologies, but 1-up fuel is essentially a decal system that can change your stats. Some people are saying it's maybe a handicap system where you can do certain things in a game and maybe it slows you down while other players do this. I don't know how true that is, but I think it's a customization option for your carts that may just be cosmetic, to be completely honest.
Yeah, they didn't really explain it. It could be, some of the other additional things, like to help people that, like children that want to play the game, kind of like how they have the antenna.
Yeah, which that's already in there. You can turn that on and off from your cart selection screen. So you don't have to have like the 1-up decals to be able to do that, or the 1-up fuel buttons, whatever they actually are. On the main menu, there's also a maps icon, which I have to assume just opens up the map and shows you the map. And then there is Lakitu reading a book, which I have to assume is just a help icon. On the map button, you can see your P-switches, your panels, and your peach coins that you've collected on the map. I can't remember. Let me see if I can find that actually. I think it was on. I think it's a little bit later on in the direct itself. Let me see if I can find it here before I pull out. How do you feel about the? How do you feel about the actual stuff for the peach coins, the P switches, and the panels? I don't know if we even talked about that much, but do you think that those are substantial enough to justify their existence?
Well, I mean, I feel like there'll just be little things that you can do to give you while you're driving from point A to point B. They just kind of like add stuff in there. Sometimes I don't mind stuff like that because I'm already, if I'm driving around, it's fun to be able to find something to do while you're driving. Um, but then also at the same time, uh, we can, there's no way of knowing for sure if it will be fun to do not only more than once, but even just once. Like, just let me do it once, see if I enjoy it. If I do, then I will probably seek them out, especially if they give us something.
Keyword saying make us find Korok seeds. Get out of here. No. I mean, that's essentially what the peach coins are. They're Korok seeds.
Yeah. And then what happens after we find them all?
You get a little golden poo. Oh, found I finally found the segment here.
You just get a little poo that constantly shoots out of your wheels while you're driving.
Yes. Let me see if I can see this here. So this is the main menu as far as what you got here. It's what I was talking about with the 1UP fuel button, the maps button, and the lack of 2 button. And your online play, which online play only supports up to 2 people per console. So you can see that they didn't do, all 4 players like you can do with the regular multiplayer on the console. And I think a big portion of that is it takes a performance hit in the multiplayer section. The 4 players, like you can see, it drops in frames per second when you're watching simultaneous gameplay. But I am trying to find the map as far as that goes. So I'm gonna keep looking while you're filling up some time here. Oh, I found it.
Yeah. Well, good. That's good that you found it because I'll tell you what. They did talk about that. The map, there's a lot of like empty space there that I hope I'll also not only like find stuff to do, but then there's also enough space in like certain areas that they could have like seasonal events and things for us to do like at certain times of the year.
Animal Crossing if I had
right, yeah, they could add stuff to it. Have the whole thing like freeze over for a day or whatever it is. But yeah, that would be fun if they did stuff like that. But yeah, 2 people per system. What is it? 4 people locally?
Yeah. Two people. No, it's 2 people for online, 4 people on one system locally. But if you have 8 other friends that paid $500+ for Mario Kart World in a Switch bundle, you can play locally that way as well with 8 friends. So, and then I was this is what I was talking about was the icons for the P-switches, the panels, and the peach coins. Those are listed on the actual map for how many you found. So it doesn't show how many are still left. So I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing. I would like to have kind of a checklist, like, hey, this is how many I've found out of how many there actually are. But,
right.
I mean, I guess it's kind of a nice surprise to stumble into it. I don't know.
Maybe they don't have it all showing and you can open up a map and then see things marked down. Who knows what like the menu will look like when you're actually playing the game
in a month. A month and a half, something like that. It's close to like a month and a week or something like that.
Yeah.
And then that's pretty much the extent of it. Like that's everything new they showed, except for this one thing, which confirms that DK is DK Jr. from Super Mario Kart. So that's the theory, because everyone's sitting in front of their thing. There is no DK Jr. So hey. But that's pretty much it. Like that is pretty much it. That's everything new. And everything else that we know. Keywork said the same thing. He did say the same. I think it was last week during the show. You were talking about it in the live chat, Keywork. So I don't know. There's a lot to be excited about. All right. So Chris, hit me with 3 likes and 3 dislikes about the gameplay of the new game.
This one 3 likes and 3 dislikes.
Mm-hmm.
I like the fact that it's like you can just drive anywhere you want. I like that. I like that you can play as a cow. And I like that you can still use motion controls. I dislike the fact that it's open, so it's open world and you can drive where you want, but it also, so they showed that you could fast travel to your friends, but I don't like that they haven't shown us more information. I mean, we had a Nintendo Direct about it, and I feel like it would be great if they showed us more. I don't like that they got rid of tournament mode. I don't like that that I can not spam. I'm using motion controls.
I mean, you don't know that yet. You don't know that yet. They haven't said that you do.
Well, I'm only going off what they showed us.
I appreciate the fact that we don't have to rely on pre-written messages to be able to communicate with each other anymore. So let me just say that much. That's kind of nice. Don't have to use a third party
chat in the app. You know, we don't have to use that app.
Yep. You can use it straight from the system. I
wonder if you'll be able to use voice chat with strangers. Or will it only be with friends?
That's a good question. I would say it's probably only with friends knowing Nintendo. Like, legitimately.
Make sense because you can, it'll show you recent players. You can add them, and then all of a sudden you can just voice chat.
Doesn't matter. Second step. It's always what they want. Second step. All right, I'll hit you with my 3 likes and my 3 dislikes. The first thing that I like, I'm with you 100%. I really like the free roam mode. Jury's still out. I'm going to kind of reserve a little bit of my excitement because I did play through every single course, all 96 of them in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe with no CPUs and no items turned on to be able to do our tier list of all 96 courses a few episodes ago. So I'm going to save some of that excitement because if I've learned one thing, it's that Mario Kart isn't fun if you're not racing against somebody and have no items to use. So, like, I'm reserving my judgment. The missions I hope will hold up for me. But I am excited for free roam mode. My second thing that I like, I really like how the UI looks. It's so different. Like, it reminds me a lot of the edginess of Mario Strikers in a lot of ways. It's not like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe's UI was so clean and sterile and lacked life or any kind of character, and the UI in this, it looks so cool. Like, I like the edges of all the fonts. I like the way that they have the big boxes for all the layouts. I like the way they're using a ton of textures and bright colors. And, like, for instance, like when you get hit with an item, it throws up a big cartoon boom instead of, you doing the same motion every time and like barely an explosion happens. Visually, this game looks really cool. And then the third thing that I like from a gameplay perspective, I like the charge jump and the jumping on walls. I think that's going to be a really cool piece of tech that makes people go faster in that game. That's going to be tons of fun to experiment with and play around with. Which at the end of the day, a Mario game, if you're not jumping, it's not fun. So, except for Captain Toad, we'll give that one a pass. As far as 3 dislikes, I dislike the fact that every character, for now, until we see the full release of the game, every character is split up between their costumes and their main looks, and it's going to clutter that.
Yeah.
I need a sorting system stat if that's how it's going to be.
Like you said, I wonder if they did it because it was for the demo, just so that people saw them, that they could pick them all, so that you didn't see people's footage and it was just all plain Mario. Yeah. That way, it's like, even if it was different Marios, because people might have just mashed A to get through to a character. Yeah. This way, they got to select the different ones.
I don't like I don't like the fact that they got rid of, and again, withholding judgment until full release, but it seems like they got rid of three modes. I love Shine Runners, or whatever it is, the Shine mode where you're trying to hold on to Shine and you've got everybody coming after you in battle mode. I really liked the Cops and Robbers mode, and there was another mode that was in the battle mode that's no longer there, if I'm remembering right. But we still have oh no, it's Bomb Battle. Bomb Battle is not on there anymore. So all you've got is regular Balloon Battle and Coin Runners. I don't like that. It looks like they've gotten rid of some modes. Maybe we'll see them in the end game once it's actually fully out. But I feel like they would have shown that in the direct if it was there. Yeah. And I might be wrong. I also
feel like Nintendo has the numbers, so they know what one of their modes people are actually playing. And so they're like, you know what, less is more. We gave people all these options, and they only play these, 30 courses. So
And then as far as a third thing that I don't like, I don't like that it's not out now. I'm ready to play it. No, I'm kidding. I don't like the fact that we don't have the level of customization on the carts that we had in the last game. I would really like to have, select my wheels, select my cart, select my glider, and give it the personality that I want it to have. And instead we've got these are the default carts, and this is your character that you can put a costume on, and then you go. It's very pick up and play friendly, so you don't have to think about it as much, but at the same time, it's I really liked min-maxing and getting my just right parts on my cart and enjoying that. So I'm hoping customization is there. 2 more things on Mario Kart. Pricing of $79.99. Do you think it's worth it, Chris?
Do I think Mario Kart is worth it?
Hold on. Rephrase that. That's not what I asked. I said the pricing of Mario Kart World being $79.99. Not is Mario Kart worth $80. Mario Kart World specifically. Is it worth $79.99 to you?
Well, here's the thing. So the thing we learn about life is...
I'm ready for some life lessons, please.
Yeah, sure. Here it is. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Yeah, sure. I'll get whatever it ends up being the cost that they tell me. I mean, I'm going to get it. I'm probably going to play for at least 100 hours throughout the next 75 years that they have us playing the same game over and over again. It's going to be 10 years till the next system, probably 8 to 10 years
at least at this point.
Yeah,
unless this one doesn't sell well, in which case they'll fast track it within 5.
Right, we'll have the Switch Advance and the I don't think it really, I mean, it certainly helps that if I'm able to get the system, the $500 system, it'll be $30 cheaper. I mean, that helps.
Yeah.
And then also has me on a time crunch too, to make sure I get that bundle for my kids before they take them off the shelf. Because
they'll be producing until fall. So that's the good news. It is staying in production until fall.
And then bring it back every holiday.
And that's exactly what they're going to do. That's why it's until fall. And then, we've got this Christmas bundle. The Black Friday bundle.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, Mario Kart 8 worth $80. I mean, who's to say? We'll see what happens when the game comes out.
Here to say. We haven't gotten to review it, obviously, so it's not in anyone's hands.
Just based on what they showed us, I mean, I don't think this direct did any better of a job selling it than just seeing it being played and talked about
from the
previews and the Treehouse and the Nintendo. What do they call them?
Switch 2 experience.
Yeah, any of that stuff. I mean, that certainly I feel like just hearing people talk about their time with it sold me on it more than the direct did. That's for sure.
Yeah.
What about you?
No, I'm kind of in that same boat. Like the direct was unnecessary. It absolutely was unnecessary. It wasn't something that I needed. So I will say I am totally okay with the fact that we got the direct, but it wasn't. It was kind of pointless. I was already on board. I was hoping for something extra, right? Like I was hoping that they would reveal something a lot more than what they did, because a lot of this is just small detail stuff. Everything that we talked about for the last hour and 20 minutes, small detail stuff. But as far as my opinion on whether or not I think Mario Kart World is worth $79.99, I think that answer is going to differ from person to person. For me, I'm going to say 100% yeah. I'm going to play the crap out of this a lot like you. I'm going to put 100, 200, 300 hours in on this game, and I'm going to have a good time doing it. But I'm not going to say that everyone is going to need to rush out to get this. On top of that, the bundle does take a lot of the sting out of it, where if you're getting that, you're basically saving $30 by grabbing it in the bundle. So at that point, it becomes a $50 game. Right? Like if I can get that bundle, it's a $50 game, and I'm paying the base level for the console. Do I think it's worth it though? If I have to put my own line in the sand and say, yes, I think Mario Kart World is worth it, I'm going to say yes. I am going to say yes. Early thoughts, yes. Pick it up, enjoy it, play the crap out of it, play with your friends. Mario Kart's Mario Kart. There's a reason it's one of the best-selling games on Switch 1. It's because it's so approachable. Everybody can jump into it. Everybody can have a good time. But even more so, like it's a good game. And at $80, I understand everyone's hold up. That's $20 more than what Mario Kart was. Right? Mario Kart 8. But let's think about this. Let's break this down. Mario Kart 8 launched on the Wii U for $60. Then for an additional $20, you got the first season pass that added, a few new cups. 4 new cups, right? I think is what it was. It was 4 additional cups.
Yes.
Then, if you bought then it came out on the Switch. So if you wanted to continue playing it and not play it on the Wii U and get a couple new features, you had to buy it again on the Switch. So let's add another $60, right? So add another $60. So that's already $140. And then if you don't have the booster course pass, the expansion pass for NSO, you buy it separately. How much is that DLC for the additional doubling of the courses? On its own, $35? Something like that. So $175 for all 96 courses and the experience of playing Mario Kart from the time it came out to now. From the time it came out on the Wii U to now. Right? And this is the thing that a lot of people are kind of hung up on. I see Nettist out there in the chat. I knew this was going to happen. I came prepared. So here's the thing. One thing a member on our Discord said, and this is Sakura, friend of the channel, friend of me. She said on the Discord, it is a Sims situation. Why buy Sims 5 when you have 50 DLCs already for the previous version? And I sympathize with that statement. I understand that. This game is probably not going to be right for everybody, especially if you don't have a Switch 2, right? Especially if you don't have a Switch 2.
You can't play it if you don't have a Switch. What are you...
Shut up! Leave me alone! But it is one of those things where I think I think this game will continue to be supported. And you can experience this game with your friends. You can do a few new things that you couldn't do before. And it's an all-new experience to be handled and to be had. Mm-hmm. And I am totally okay with dropping $50 to $80 on Mario Kart World. And lots of kids get Mario Kart World for Christmas and they'll only have a Switch. That's true. That is also true. Oh man. I'm gonna have to go out and get a Switch too. But I understand where people are coming from, and if you don't want to upgrade, don't. Play Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. You're going to have a good time still yet with that game.
No, you're not. I'll tell you what. Here's what I'll tell you about Mario Kart World.
Tell me.
I already know for a fact there's no way, no how I'm not going to play this game more than I want to. I am going to get suckered into playing it with friends.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to want to play it. This is the game that everyone will have. And they'll just be like, oh, I got that. Yeah, let's play Mario Kart. Oh, so-and-so doesn't have the new game that just came out. So we're all going to play Mario Kart tonight instead. And it's going to be Nettist. And it's just, Nettist won't have the game, so we'll play it. Or Nettist will end up being like the Steam group that all boycotted Call of Duty, but they still got the game anyway. And they were all playing it day one. So either way, yeah, I'm not. I know for a fact I'm going to end up playing this more than I want to, but if nothing else, it will be a game that I will play and enjoy, hopefully, when it first comes out.
Yeah, I'm hoping at the end of the day we at least enjoy it at the beginning, right? Like, if we don't enjoy it at the beginning, my God, the blowback that will happen from everybody going lower the price. And you know, there's a lot of people who are like that price point, and for what they're delivering, I don't want to spend the money on the Switch 2. And Nettist is not the only one in that company. In our community or in any community, he's not the only one that's saying like, hey, I'm not going to be buying a Switch 2. The price isn't there. They're not delivering games that I necessarily want to play. And the price point is absurd and ridiculous. Pay your employees. That's all I really care about. That's why I'm willing to spend the $80. It's kind of where I was with Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, right? They talked about how long it took them to develop it. It was 5 years. They talked about what they had to do, how they had to do it, and they gave a lot of explanation on why Tears of the Kingdom was going up to $70. They didn't really explain that here with Mario Kart World, and that's frustrating for a lot of people, right? And I think it's fair to be frustrated by that.
You know how long they worked on that cow? A long time.
Forever. They've been working on that cow since Mario Kart 64.
They had to trademark the name cow.
But I don't
time out, Nettist. Here's the thing.
So you're in the live chat trying to be a problem. He's okay though. It's okay for you to have your opinion, and it's okay for me to have mine too. And we will agree that is it too dang expensive? In this economy, it is really hard to swing. I think we can all agree on that.
I think if we're all talking about things we all agree on, Rare did a better job with Mickey's Speedway USA than they did with Diddy Kong Racing. I think we can all agree on that.
What's one thing you have on your wish list, Chris, for Mario Kart World? I'll tell you mine. I want Nintendo Music Radio to be added. If they're gonna make me feel like I need to download Nintendo Music by adding a new soundtrack every week, put it in the game. Let me have Nintendo Music Radio, like GTA or Forza, where you can turn on a radio station and suddenly you got, well, I'm gonna turn on the Splatoon radio station so I can listen to Splatoon music while I drive around in free roam in Mario Kart World.
Yeah, and also with that, be able to open up the NSO app and then open up Mario Kart and then just have it tell us sort of like where you get the voice coming over and being like, run straight for, north for however many feet. Give us GPS and just tell us where to turn and how to get to where we're going. No, but what I do want is what I wanted that we didn't get from the 8 Deluxe and then the DLC was Kirby.
Yeah, I'm with you. We got Link, we got Splatoon kids, we got Animal Crossing people, we got Mii's.
And also for some reason, it's like Nintendo is only if they consider it's like Mario and the Mushroom Kingdom and Donkey Kong, and no one from Donkey Kong is coming.
Just DK.
yeah, it's like
There's no Cranky, there's no Dixie, there's no Diddy, there's no Tiny, there's no Lanky, there's no Chunky, there's no Baby, there's no, Candy. Give me Candy Kong. Auga.
right. What?
That was my
I was
first.
with you until you said that one.
That was my first. That was my first crush back in the day. I was a Candy Kong, man. She had my heart. The first cartoon character I fell in love with.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh no! So my son in a live chat with the icy fountain. Trip, why do you have technology? You're supposed to be in bed. Get off the tech. Go to sleep. God. Oh man, we got one more thing. I'm moving on. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, it is. Please just you. Go to bed, Tripwire. Oh, it's my wife. I forgot. My son is logged in on my wife's iPad. I totally forgot.
Oh, okay. I thought, what a time to jump in with the eyes.
Right?
First time chatter, your son.
That's so funny. Oh, that's so funny. We do have one more piece of news here before we move on, and it's that the Switch 2 pre-orders are going to be happening on April 24th. Pricing retail pre-orders to begin April 24th in the US. The big piece of news here is that the Switch 2 and the Mario Kart World Bundle, along with the first-party video game titles, remained unchanged in their pricing. But,
in America.
But yes, in America. But all of the accessories went up in terms of price. Nintendo Switch 2 Pro controller went up by $5. The Joy-Con pair went up by $5. The charging grip went up by $5. The Joy-Con 2 strap went up by, I think, $2.
Yeah, it went from $12.99 to $13.99.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
The wheel
dock
set
went from 109
yeah, it went up
to
15 or
yeah.
10. Yeah,
$10,
10.
Yeah.
So there are a whole lot of changes, but it looks like in order to stave off having to raise the price on the console, they're just going to take the hit on the console and the first party games for now. I'm going to say for now, and just pumping it all into the accessories, which is why you're probably seeing a lot of these companies that have announced that they're doing the pre-orders doing bundles. Because Nintendo has recommended that they do bundles within the retail stores, so that way they can make up the difference on accessories. Not only for the storefronts themselves, but also for Nintendo. So I understand that. I've seen it happen. I worked at GameStop for a lot of years. Saw that happen there multiple times. I understand why. That's how you make your money. Is accessories are more profitable just in general, so they're able to sink that cost into that and then just make a little bit more profit that way. And eat a little bit of the cost on the consoles. But these are going to be available April 24th in stores, online, and I would assume through Nintendo.com as well. So,
well, the first round of pre-orders for those go like May 8th or something.
May 8th. Okay. Very interesting. I did not realize that.
They emailed, I think, people. Some people got emails, but not in America. But
not in America. Man, yeah. May 8th, eh? I mean, that's fine. I can wait a little bit longer, maybe.
The first round, I think, is what they said. The first round of.
Are you going to be pre-ordering through like stores, or are you going to be trying to do the Nintendo one?
Well, I'm hoping for the Nintendo one, or I'll try and get a pre-order through whatever it is. What's the not a pre-order, but get it in person on launch day. We'll see what happens. But yeah,
maybe we'll do a live stream of trying to do a pre-order. Maybe I'll do that. Who knows?
Well, it'll be at midnight. So.
Yep, midnight. I'm gonna be live. Trying to get a Switch 2.
Yeah.
So we'll see you tomorrow.
Oh man, disaster.
It is. But no, that's pretty much it. We're going to go into the fast forward. So we'll see you guys on the other side with some more of that stuff. Chris, tell the people about the things.
Yep. So Nintendo last night usually will just randomly tweet out, oh, hey, by the way, there is a new NSO game. So GBA NSO has Fire Emblem and the Sacred Stones. Is that correct?
Yep.
And that was the GBA Fire Emblem, one of the GBA Fire Emblems.
Yeah, I think there were 2 of them.
Yeah, and this one is out now. Because sometimes they post it and it'll be like, it'll be available in exactly 7 days. And then other places will be, other games, they're like, it's out right now. And so, yeah, it is out. That is a NSO Plus expansion game. So, yeah, that's out. You can go play it while you listen to Fire Emblem Engage on Nintendo Music.
Hey, burning content. It's fine, though. Let's do it.
But yeah, and then the other game is Thunderfolk. I played this demo on... There was like an exclusive demo on GeForce Now. I played it. It's kind of like a multiplayer sort of tabletop game that you can play, like a tabletop RPG where you play as these characters in this world where the people playing, one person has the main game and then everyone else can play it on their phones and join in that way. And so then that way you don't all need a copy of the game. You just need one person to have the game and then everyone else can join in and play with you. That is out tomorrow on the 23rd, and it is actually $49.99. We'll see how it does. I don't know how well it will do with that price, but
who's the developer of this one?
Will tell.
Suppose I could scroll down and see.
Yeah, you could scroll down and see.
Publisher Dreamhaven, developer Secret Door.
Yeah.
Not familiar with them. I don't know anything else that they've done.
What, Secret Door?
Yeah.
I don't see anything else that they did.
Game looks pretty though. It definitely looks pretty. But I mean it's turn-based tactics positioning game. So who knows?
It's their first game. I forget what some of the developers came from other games, but I don't remember what it was.
Firaxis. That strikes me as a Firaxis style game.
Oh, I could see that. They were ex-Blizzard developers.
Oh, never mind.
So
that tracks.
So some of the people from Blizzard created Dreamhaven, or Secret Door, which is owned by Dreamhaven. So Dreamhaven is the publisher. They started Secret Door, which has been working on this game. It got announced, I think, in October of last year, but the studio, but they've been working on it they were working on it a little bit longer than that, and so now here it comes. It's coming out. $49.99. The other game is the 100 line Last Defense Academy. This is a game that is one of those games where you can play it on there's like a demo and the stuff will carry over. It's from the developer that they worked on oh gosh, I can't remember it now, but
it looks like Atlas, but it's not.
No, it's Marvelous. The Marvelous is the publisher, but the developer that worked on it, they worked on what's the game where people Danganronpa.
Oh yeah.
It was like some of the Danganronpa people, and so that's what this is. And yeah, it is $59.99. There's a deluxe edition, which is $69.99. And it is out right now, or out on Thursday. But there is
a deluxe edition.
Reviews are out,
right? No, not a deluxe edition. My apologies.
There is a deluxe edition, but that is not. That one is not out until Thursday either. But yeah, it's sitting at 88 on OpenCritic, so
it's pretty good. Exceed, Marvelous Exceed. That was the people's.
Yes.
It's pretty dang good. Oh man, well, we got some extra Nintendo news before we do this outro. A couple of things. We got new Mario Kart World wallpapers available on the My Nintendo store for 50 platinum points, as well as Fire Emblem Heroes and 2 Pikmin wallpapers for free. Xenoblade Chronicles X is the theme this month for the NSO icons, as mentioned last week. Kirby's Adventure icons are the Play and Redeem set. But the new addition this week is Fire Emblem Engage icons have made a limited time return until the 29th. So if you're missing any of those, go snag those. Also in the Fire Emblem Engage news, Nintendo Music snagged its soundtrack, so you can listen to that on Nintendo Music app. Partner Spotlight sales still ongoing for games like Balatro, Persona 5 Royal, Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection, and more. You can save up to 50% on those titles. But there's also a Jackbox Games, an Outright Games, a Capcom, and a Devolver Digital sale happening as well, where you can get some good games at a discounted price. And then also of note, physical Switch 2 editions of first-party games will have everything included on the cartridge. That got confirmed by Nintendo UK representative. So that is official. That is confirmed. The upgrade packs and the base game is going to be included on it. Now, whether or not you'll see DLC included on those, like the Breath of the Wild DLC, or any of the other DLCs for some of these other games that we're going to be seeing come out, that's still to be announced. And then 2 games were added to the compatibility list for Switch 2. One of those is Fitness Boxing, and then the other one was Fortnite. So kind of crazy that it's gonna be Fortnite on there, and we're not just getting a Switch 2 version of Fortnite. It's just the first version of Fortnite on the Nintendo Switch. So, but if you're watching live on YouTube, please make sure that you leave a like. And leave a comment. Let us know what you thought about the episode. And if you're not watching live and you're catching us later, still yet do the same thing. But
smash that dislike button if you're watching later.
Yeah,
so see the difference.
we need to know who's been missing it. Chris, where can they find you, friend?
Super Nintendo on pretty much everything. And how about you?
For me, it's Nerdwire Plays on pretty much everything. You can go find me over there. Come to my website, nerdwireplays.com. Almost said nintendo.com. Not quite what I was trying to say. And then also remember that you can catch all of our past episodes in video form. Well, all of them except 8 in video form on YouTube at youtube.com/@the-Nintendo-Rewind. Visit our site for links to all of our social media pages at nintendorewind.com. And consider supporting the show. Thank you for watching. Remember, you can catch us live weekly. Pre-orders where for Switch 2? They'll be available, so far we know, of Best Buy and Walmart. I don't know anything about Target, but I would assume Target is one that is confirmed as well. Is that correct, Chris?
Walmart, yeah, but I don't know. They haven't said if you will need Walmart Plus to pre-order. But Best Buy, Target, and GameStop will have pre-orders at midnight, I believe.
Yep. All right.
If you go to Twitter, Wario64 has his pinned tweet is all of the different places where they have the pre-orders, and then he will be posting them. If you aren't able to get one right away. He will post them every time they go live.
Don't go follow that Wario64. I don't know why I did that. I shouted him out here on Twitch. That's not what that person has. 8 followers, man. They've got a gold mine if they'd actually start streaming. But that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Remember, you can catch us live every single week right here on YouTube and on Twitch. Nintendo Rewind. So thanks for watching. We'll catch you guys later. Remember, please be kind and rewind. We'll catch you guys on the flip side. Peace.
Toodaloo.